Who goes you? Identify yourself. Who you be? What is your name? All those are commonalities. These are phrases. These are a form of identity we engage in to know a state of being of a person or something, and it is very important. Today I just want to talk about identity, not because I've read so many things about identity, or not because I have or understand the conceptualization of what identity is in its all fullness. I want to state this to drive a point based on some MOU signed by Nigeria and Sweden some months ago. And every time I try to speak about this identity, I get this feeling of do not want to speak about it. But today I just said let me begin this week with talking about identity. So I want to trace back identity to trying to figure out or ask myself or figure out answers to these questions I've been asking myself, like why did the responsibility of man identifying everything God created was taxed to man, and why then did God leave the responsibility of man identify himself to himself? So why is it that humanity is caused by identity? Identity is our greatest cause. So I want to see how we can dissect what identity is all about. So welcome to the Testament podcast.
Instead it be sleep, let it be hate, let it degrade, let it be deep. Some others should weep, some others should keep the memory of the way that I died. Maybe.
So today, not be say I want to talk much based on say I know much, but I just want to talk because of something when I feel say if it is good for everyone to know about it, and maybe everybody draw their own conclusion because of how I reason the matter. Maybe other persons go get better reasoning in regards to this identity. Now, if we go back to the creation of things, how God began the creation, and God created everything and said it was good. But what God did, God tasked man with the responsibility of giving the names, identifying everything he created. And God left the responsibility of man identify himself to himself. And if you understand the concept of man being able to identify the things God created, because he was not there when God created all of these things, it is based on man was able to study their characterization, their features, to know how to identify them. And this thing are a form of biology. I think it's called taxonomy. The act of identifying things based on their characterizations and features, and it is biology. Why God taxes us with the study of biology, and why it be say when God created man and woman, he called Adam man, and he called Eve, which he brought out, which he created from a bone from Adam, woman. And when man wake up, man was able to notice the features of Eve and say this is a woman because she is bone out of my bone. And if you draw out the concept or try to broaden it out, why basically man they try to run away from how God identify him based on his features, because now God identify man based on his name, and God identify man also based on his gender, and God see the gender and say this is a man, and sees the characterization which is formed your identity and said this is a woman, and the features and the responsibilities and the taxation and the characterizations, features and everything about these two being are totally different. Even in as much as they have similarities, they have distinct difference in terms of behavior, in terms of character, and in terms of features. And with all these things now, you're trying to say because they get particular role when each of them play to fulfill one another, or to help one another. You get role when the woman they play. When that role when they play, now go make man function at his best. And they get role when a man they play, when go make woman function at his best. But if you see that over time, since the Adamic nature, which I would say is a cause of man, and which I would summarize or call it identity as the cause of identity, humanity cause, is man they try to identify himself all the time. And everything about life is based on identity. The reason why you go to school is based on identity. And why it be say as soon as your father born you, your mama born you, bring you to this world, the first thing they do is to identify you. Why does identity plays so much importance in who we become in life? And even Jabez had to pray to God that God should change his name, because the name when he gets before God change his name, they affect his purposefulness, they affect his ability to achieve his set goals. And he knew about it and prayed to God for God to change his name. And if you look at everyone God does used to do great things in the Bible, their names and their identity plays an important role. We did go school for identity. The reasons why we crave for information daily is for identity. Because if you identify yourself as a lawyer, you go function in a particular and a distinct area of the society when no other persons go fit function except you identify yourself as a lawyer. Why be say daily, if you want to associate yourself with a particular group, you must identify yourself. An identity. See, if you look at the story of Daniel, if we go to the story of Daniel, and when Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, captured the Israelites and brought some of them to Babylon, and one thing that Nebuchadnezzar did was to change the name of Daniel and the 3 Hebrews. See, the Shadrach, one they call Abednego, and Meshach are the names that were given to them when they came to Babylon. So it was important for their names to be changed to align with their culture, to align with their way of life. So the way of life is all built into your identity. And the first thing Daniel and the children were given, not say they get any right, they had to change their name and give them a name that aligned to the belief of Babylon. And you see, identity also determines the kind of people we associate with. Identity determines our way of life. And everybody in a cultist, because a cult is a group of people that is function with one ideology, that is function with one culture. And the word cult, culture, and cultivate all comes from the Latin word called cultus. And all come from one particular Latin word, means all of them are the same thing, and just different meaning or definition they get, but they all drive to one thing. A cult now people when are binded by one identity, by one way of life. And also for you to a way of life, now culture. And because the culture is a way of life, the way you eat, the way you dress, the way you express yourself, now the culture. And cultivate is also an associated word with culture, and cult also means what? To develop. Because as for you to identify fully into a particular group or a particular thing, your way of life needs to be changed. You have to develop. You have to grow. You have to propagate yourself in alignment with identity. Now, identity now going to make you, why you get driver license? Why everything about the life is built around identity? Why is it that people are so into it that they want to forcefully push their culture to you? Because why? They want you to identify with them. Why is it that identity plays so much role that everybody, the programs these days set up by some countries and pushed to Africa are programs to change their African way of life, to change their culture. And these programs, they affect our lifestyle. And why is it that everything is about identity? If you look the story of Babel, the Tower of Babel, and for them to work their way into perfectionism, they needed to come together and say, let's build ourselves a house, a tower that will reach up to heaven. Why do they want to build a tower to reach up to heaven? Because they want to identify themselves to godlike character, so that when they identify themselves as a godlike character, they're not going to get anything when they're above them. Then, if you just look the circle of life, look at the story of Abraham, you see how the first thing God had to do to really cement their discussion was based on, I have to change his name. From Abraham, he changed to Abraham, and he changed his wife's name also. Because your identity first go start with your name. You see the role identity plays, and every day for life, you get where you go reach for school. As you enter school, you begin to identify yourself in different ways. Religiously, you begin to identify yourself. You begin to identify yourself socially in the way you associate with people, and all those things faction your characterization to reveal the you when you be really not know say you be. Before you join that group, they express the character and when those people they express. But as soon as you just go join that group, just full up with their attention, you just see the character when those people when in that group they exhibit. You just you don't really exhibit such character because of identity. Now I'm beating around the bush or trying to tell all the story because I want to just go to the point. Like this is. Gender identity is another word for gender identity is gender equality, and I just word when they replace them. And if you observe that people don't really understand the danger for gender equality, some people when they clamor or when they say feminism, and to be a feminist is a good thing. I have to see myself as this gender so that I can express myself as this gender even if I do not have the same features or character of this gender, but I want to be equal with this gender. I want to feel superior or be at the same level with this gender, despite say psychologically, structurally, physically, and every other areas we are totally different. Why are people clamoring to be equal in everything? What is equality all about? What is feminism? What is being a feminist? What do you gain, or what do you think is the message being equal? Because there's a total difference from being a man and a woman. Now the MOU that was signed between Nigeria and Sweden was signed some months ago. And one of the things they agreed upon was gender equality. Programs will be set up to make you, the different sex one will get, which is male and female, to have same opportunity, which is very good. Same platform, same framework for them to strive. Even when these two genders are totally different. How is it possible that a female who strives, or even if you look at in terms of their courses, most taken to school, why is it that naturally the female just like to be nurse? Why is it that naturally the female are attracted to love, to human, to emotions, are attracted to things like that, and these things define their choices in every areas of their life. Their choices that defines and also defines their behavior. Why it be like that? Why I be say the men they prefer to want to involve their men are driven to things when they see around them. And first thing that a man gets attracted to when he sees a woman is what he sees, things around him. He's attracted more with what he sees. A woman is attracted more with what she feels. Because now based on what we see as man, now we take the build feelings. As you see our backside, as you see our front side, as you see our face, you are attracted to things. As you see the car, the flashy car, you see the color, you see the beauty, you are attracted. You are driven by this to get it. It drives your purpose. It drives your goals. It's set on this. You set your goals. You see a beautiful edifice, and you are attracted by the beauty, and you strive and start propelling or patterning yourself to achieve same edifice, to have such edifice. That is, if you look at a woman can marry an ugly man because a woman not be attracted to what she see, she attracted to what she feel. But a man prefer to marry a woman when she just like the woman backside, than say the woman have God-fearing character when they see the woman have good behavior when they see. The first thing that moves a man is what he sees. Why they talk about this is we have set programs in Nigeria accept or sign AIDS or accept AIDS in Nigeria, and our government accept AIDS in Nigeria without really defining, understanding what is encoded around this AIDS. Marco Rubio, which happens to be the U.S. Secretary of State, said that AIDS are not charity. that aids are set up are given to countries for the US to achieve a purpose. So the reason why they give aids, why the European Union give aids to Africa countries, why the US or whoever gives World Bank or whoever gives African nations aids, is not because they want it to achieve anything. It is for them to fulfill their purpose, to achieve something, a set goal. That is the essence for the aids. The aids are not charity. So we know they pay attention on what is behind this aids. What are they trying to achieve? What programs are they spending this money on? Why are they giving us this money? Why are they giving us? What are they trying to achieve? We just fall for it and accept the money because that is all we did for our head. We know they look about how is this programs they want to achieve. How is it going to affect our value, our belief system? Like for instance, Sweden do not have 2 genders. Sweden have like 7 or 8 genders. Sweden don't they do same marriages in the 1940s, in the 40s. Even before Nigeria gained their independence, Sweden don't they do same sex. Now in a country which almost 10% of their population is LGBTQ, what do you think is their cultural and their value system? What do you think they would want? If they give you money, what do you think they want to achieve when they are pushing for gender equality? These are the things our government are supposed to look at and pay attention to. These programs say, what are these people trying to achieve? Because many aids when we don't accept, don't put us into a very tight corner when they see the fans want to pull ourselves out. Anytime they give you aid, anytime they set up program, tell you, say, follow up this map, just know, say, the ones that they destroy your economy because the fear of the West is African to be liberated. That is the fear of the West. African liberation will destroy the power of the West. So what they do is they set up programs and try to drive an agenda that would always make us dependable. But it's so funny and so crazy that our government and personnel, our business elite and everyone who is doing be giving the go ahead or who they involve don't really know what these programs are. Don't really even understand that this program could destroy our value system and go destroy our culture. It will affect our way of life. And once we start accepting this, it gave you go accept and you don't get a say. For the US Secretary of State to tell you that aids are not charity, they are meant to achieve a set goal. You should be able to understand that every aid you collect from this Western power is not of your benefit, not be to benefit you, not to benefit and satisfy their agenda. Sweden is a small country, a very, very small country. I think the same land size with Plateau State. In short, the population of Sweden can be compared with a city like Ikeja. That's the population of Sweden. That's how small Sweden is. A country that is less than 11 million and 10%, approximately 10%, is LGBT. A country where you ask gender, they teach children gender. From 16 years old, a child can decide to change his sex. Because the truth about identity, the thing about identity that God wants to judge us. God will ask you, who goes you? What is your identity? How you take day? Now, based on that, God will take judge you. Because Jesus Christ said, I will separate the goats from the sheep. Now based on identity now where you fall in. And there are everything when you need to make you fit there on the side. When it be say, if they ask who goes you want to identify yourself. Because life in circle, now cult, everybody na cultist. Everybody na cultist. Even Jesus Christ na cultist. The disciple, because another word for cult is also known as fellowship, discipleship. So a discipleship means say, now if a cult that is bounded by an ideology, a cult that is bounded by an identity, a cult when waiting they stand for, they affect their manner of expression. They affect the food when they eat and how they respond and what they do around their environment. Those of the people, people when died, the disciples when died. I see how they die. Because of what they identify themselves, they die for that purpose. They don't let go. They too believe say I be the right thing, and they died terrible death. Because the judgment day now based on identity. And if one thing I've also observed, that if you alter your body when you not create, you alter your body in one way or the other, you don't fail for number one, because you must go back to the Lord just the way He created you, because He created you for a purpose. Number one, you must do everything possible, because He has given you everything possible for you to be able to identify your purpose, why you were created. And it is your own bit to find out with the things He has given you to identify your purpose, and identify your purpose and follow up your purpose and achieve your purpose while you are here. And in so doing, you don't need to alter your body, because you are not the owner of your body. You know, say you talk for Bible that your body is the temple of the living God. You are not the owner of your body. You don't have any right whatsoever in any way possible. You don't get any right to alter any part of your body. What does that simply mean? It means if you don't do tattoo, it means if you add nyash, it means if you add breasts, it means anything when you do that contradicts or affect the structural nature of your being, you don't really fail, because identity, you must fly your color. Identity, you must day as you supposed to. Gender identity in a very complex thing when we say so many things when they want to try to achieve, especially by the globalists, is to make the globe a one identity under one world order, meaning that our cultural system will not be same. It could be like, say, what God tried to avoid during the Tower of Babel, when God discovered that man want to function in one order, based on they say, let's come together and build us a tower, a building that will get to the heavens. Let's be together. Let's come under one identity, under one culture, and achieve great things. And God say these people, with their evil intentions, they're going to do waiting past their head, and God scatter them. And the same place will they go back. We don't get close to there. And as soon as we don't get close to there, before God goes, the way God to take decision to separate them, as well God go to take decision to lay out judgment. Because that's where you are going to now. The globalists, their agenda is to put the world into one order, one world order, one community, where our culture we are aligned. Like what is now accepted in the West will be accepted in our country, accepted in every country. All these people, when they change sex, when they do this, now it's accepted. Before, there was a time in Nigeria when, if you come out boldly, say you do nyash, if you come out boldly, say you do breast. Now, we don't accept it as part of our culture. It's now a commonality that you can do that, and nobody go over the frown about that. People don't they enlarge so many things. People don't they alter their body when they not create, just because of which they want to identify themselves to something. Because identity must come with a blood covenant. For you to change your identity, you must do a blood covenant. Just the same way Abraham told God to Abraham, say, Alpha, man, to seal all this our covenant. Inside that, I say we go do other kind of covenant. We must do physical covenant. You cut your circumcise your male children. You do this and this. Identity that changes your ideology, your way of life, everything about you that cultivates you to develop a new character must affect blood. Check out now. Any circle when you deal about, they affect blood one way or the other. If you don't know, affect blood one way or the other, directly or indirectly. You must believe in something when resort to blood, when blood involved. We won't be Christian, we they do blood covenant now. We won't be Christian, they do blood. Our Christianity is about this blood covenant. Blood tie us because Christ died and shed his blood. Blood covenant there as a Christian. So any religion when there's a blood covenant tied to it, that changes your identity, that changes your, because salvation and recantation now the opposite of one another. Recantation are to renounce belief when you beget before, probably to accept another belief, which is salvation, is now renouncing yourself publicly and accepting Christ as a Lord and personal Savior. Dropping every other thing you've believed, your identity, dropping all your identity and accepting a new identity in Christ. That is Christianity. Every cult. Christianity is a cult. Every religion is a cult. In the broader scope, if you want to analyze it, you discover that every religion is a cult. Because it changes our way of life. It changes how we conceive things, it changes how we react to things, it changes our behavior, it changes our personality, it changes everything about us, inside and outside. There are people who believe that killing na glory. Now, as they keep humans like this, they go get reward of 5,000 virgins or 10,000 bridesmaids. And because they believe in this, they know they see anything. No, they know they get feeling to feel say something, or they get negative triggering for body to feel say what did they do na bad thing. No, because everything is about identity. It is our time that Nigerians or Nigerian government and Nigerians in the broader aspects or broader scope should pay attention to programs that our president and our House of Rep or policies that they pass. Because I know say we're not going to run away from her, because the world must surely come under one order. It is certainly the position we are driving ourselves to, and it's no longer far. You're not far again. You're not too far again. In a space of, if not even less than 10 years, the culture of the world will be one. Because it has to be one for other things when the scriptural to come to being. For all those things to come to being, the world has to function under one world order. And under one world order not be simply me say the world go get one government or get one government, get one head of state. No. Every other head of state when they for every other country go they like puppets, they like governor to the answer to the main one. Although the structure already did like that already. We don't really function in one government. There are things where they happen around the world when you say why those people they die now just because they know they align themselves with one government. So they are being punished about it. Why identity they bad now? See, the 666 mark 666 when they talk now based on identity. You go get them before you feel do things when the mark go there. It's on identity. Once you identify yourself, you don't get that mark. You go can't give you access to some kind of things. Everything identity. It's crazy that everything about life is just on identity, and identity may be the greatest cause of humanity. Now, at the end of the day, maybe our cause. So, CULTIST when they fight, young boys when they join affiliations based on say they want to satisfy their egocentric nature. Only because of you want to satisfy and so on, you gotta identify yourself to one thing like that for school. When go give you backing, I can't restructure you, can't reposition you to come the art in a certain way. When you be not fit get mind to the arts, you can't do things when you do they count on as joy. You kill somebody, you say na scores, you count on say na 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. Like so now they play match 1, 1, 2, 2, and a life they go. And they feel that remorsefulness again. Why? Before, if you even see foul blood, your mind go down shiver, you go not they shake, you know they terrified. Now they go with the wrong things based on identity. You've been able to identify yourself with a group. Now you don't come mind your mind, you don't come get mind. You are now minded. To who kill you man, they count them as 1, 1, score 1, score 2, score 3. I just might talk about identity, not really say I too know too much. I just want make it be like say I might talk about them. So that is what I just want to say about identity, and the Sweden issue makes me want to talk about it this way. And let's just talk about it. If you have anything to say contradicting to what I've said, or you have an addition of what you want to say, you can link me up in our comment section. Have a beautiful week. Peace out.
Yeah, instead of be them, let it be me. Since I will die, inevitably, then let it be, that it be said, when I am dead. Some other was free, some other was fed, some other not me, was able to see that long as we live inside of a country where no one is safe, we only evade, try to escape the imminent doom, but closer the date looms, it comes for all. If we must go, then at least, when we fall, when we're